Since they're gone now, I can talk about it. It was completely illegal back then. What's up, Bangkok? It is great to be back in this city. I've actually been back in Thailand for about a week now. I just spent a couple of days in Pattaya running amok and having some fun, but it's great to be back in this city. And man, I gotta say, this city is changing. Living here over the last few years, it's been really interesting to see the changes of this place coming out of the tough times and building itself back to where it is now. But what's really fascinating is recently it almost seems like we're entering a new wave here, and there's a lot of development here, and I'll explain. So in the middle of all the lockdowns and the restrictions and everything we had, it was insane how many vacant places there were here. A lot of businesses shut down, a lot of blocks that were being worked on got abandoned, or the project got scrapped. Basically, there's one right behind me where I am now. There's also one straight across the road. But during that time, in the middle of all the lockdowns, you'd walk down the streets and it was just crazy to see how many places were for lease or for rent or for sale or whatever. The city was a ghost town. Now, what happened once the borders opened up and tourism started to come back and this city started to rebuild itself was all these new businesses were popping up. Everything was changing. Bangkok was changing so rapidly. It was crazy to see just how fast everything was developing. But I guess now we're entering that time period where all those businesses that started up, if they weren't successful, they've had to leave and new businesses are coming and taking over. I think over the past few months, we've seen the most change. There's been so many businesses that opened up that have closed down or changed. There's been all these bars and nightlife areas that were sort of hot popping off that are completely gone now. It was really crazy to see all these completely empty buildings. There'd be condos that were completely vacant. A lot of hotels closed the doors because there was no tourism. Some of them even closed down completely and never reopened. Now, out of those abandoned hotels and buildings, a lot of them reopened. Some of them were refurbished or new owners took over and they were completely redone. There's a few that I watch with great interest. This behind me here is one of them. So this building here was a hotel, I believe, and they had the vines that come down the side of it to get a bit of green on the outside of the building. But because no one's been there, no one's been maintaining it for the last few years, nature has just completely taken back over this building. So I watch it with great interest to see if someone else is going to take over it and someone's going to bring it back to life. But God, it's so cool to look at. So some things about this city will never change, and to be honest, I kind of hope it never does. I don't know what that guy gets paid, but I can tell you it's not enough. The wiring here in Bangkok is something I always joke about, but honestly, it's something I kind of like about this city. Maybe not to this extreme, but it is part of Bangkok for me. And you know, one of my first memories of when I visited here the first time was just seeing the wiring and seeing how crazy it was everywhere. But this is Bangkok and this is why I love it. So I know there's a huge project at the moment to put a lot of this underground, which is a great thing. I do hope that when they do that, they rip up the sidewalks nicely and put them all back really nicely, more importantly, so I can skate down the sidewalk. That'd be nice. But the wiring, all this stuff, this is Bangkok to me. So this is an interesting and kind of a sad example just behind me along here. This used to be all bars. We're on Soi 11 right now, and there were bars all the way along here and they've all been closed down. I think they're building a mall here. I'm not entirely sure. Bangkok needs some more malls, so anyway, the fascinating thing about here was that there was all the bars along here. There was a whole section that had just opened up all really recently, and the people have put a lot of effort into the bars that had just opened up. They're amazing fit outs. They'd obviously spent quite a lot of money in setting these bars up, and they were only there for a few months, so I'm not sure if the project got changed or what happened, but basically they're no longer there anymore. The interesting thing with a couple of the places along here was back during all the lockdowns and restrictions and everything, in the height of all of it, back when there was curfews and no businesses were allowed to be open, a couple of the bars along here were completely open. They've got quite clever with how they do it. They had construction boards out the front, so if you walk past from the outside, it looked like it was a construction site, but inside it was a bar operating as normal. So I guess since they're gone now, I can talk about it. It was completely illegal back then, but unfortunately, they're no longer here now. Sad to see Soi 11 like this. I got some great memories from this street. So this is another nightlife, or was another nightlife area that was really popular, that's all kind of being knocked down at the moment. So off Soi 7, there was a little loop of girly bars, and you can see half of it's been knocked down. There's still a few bars here, but no, there was like 100 bars in here. Maybe, I don't know. There was a lot of bars in here, and now there's only a handful that are still left, and they're up near the entrance, and the rest of it looks like basically it's all under construction at the moment. So thankfully here in Bangkok, some things never change. This is one of my favorite street food places to come eat at on Soi Ton Son. And I never know what I'm gonna get. The lady just asked me basically what meat I wanna have each time, and whatever she wants to cook me, that's what I end up eating. So
You want spicy?
Spicy,
chicken.
yeah.
Chicken.
Chicken, yes, yeah. Okay. Yeah, chicken rice. Okay. Spicy.
Yeah.
Pet mark. Okay. Today it looks like I've got a chicken, kind of like a pad krapao type thing. I told her I wanted something spicy, so. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's spicy, all right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Ah, man, awesome lunch. I love that place. Like, my mouth is still on fire. I wanted extra spicy, and goddamn, she delivered. Wheat chops, 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 wheat chops. Wheat chops are absolutely everywhere in this part of Bangkok at the moment, and it's absolutely insane. There's more of them than 7-Elevens, and it's probably like 3 to 1. They're just popping up everywhere, and some of them have some serious money behind them. I'm not sure how that all works, if they have outside funding or if it's from overseas or whatever, but you can see these buildings are incredibly impressive, and the weed shops that are opening up everywhere have some insane amounts of money thrown into them. So one thing that I do really like is that they're putting in a big effort at the moment to clean up Sukhumvit Road. You can see there was a policeman behind me just there, but they've gone all down this strip and cleaned it out. You know, this is where all the drug dealers used to hang out, people that would just annoy you all the time. Honestly, they drove you nuts trying to walk down here every day. So it's great. They've cleaned up a lot of that. I haven't been stopped once by someone trying to annoy me, which is a really pleasant change.